have an opportunity now for maybe 10 minutes questions and answers. Do we have another mic there? I had one here. Okay, so maybe if Patricia could come forward, and we'd like to invite our audience. I know that there was a question here from... So if our audience have any questions they'd like to ask the panel, now is your opportunity.
Hi, my name is Henry Quinn. I just want to ask the panel, how much a part does age play when you go into these interviews?
That's a good question.
Or even when you send an application form?
Okay. So what role would age play?
Well, in our case, we take on some employees. We'll take on maybe graduate engineers, or maybe apprentices. I'll be quite honest about it. In very early stages, we often get mommy ringing up and saying, I have a son coming through, what could you do for them? Or you may get a call from a teacher in the school and say, I have a good young fellow coming through now. You know, he may be trying to help him, as teachers do, to pick him up. So it varies depending on the role, depending on what the job is. And as a matter of fact, even for apprenticeships, I have a guy going through at the moment is an adult apprentice and it's working out very well. So it varies.
Okay. Thank you, Jim. Varies, right.
I'd say again in the HSE and TUSLA I can speak about, we tend to have standardised application forms, and the very last page of the form has some of those personal details and reference details. And so while we would receive those in HR, when they're actually given out to the interview board for shortlisting, which happens quite a lot, that last page is omitted. So when the board are actually reviewing the application form, they have no idea what age the person is, what nationality they are, or who their references are, so that doesn't impact on them. Now, having said that, obviously, if someone is putting down that they've just completed their leaving cert in 2015, you know, you're going to be able to make a good guess that the person's 19, so it's not foolproof, but it's part of the equality legislation that we comply with.
Thank you. Thank you, Patrick.
Yeah, I would say the same. You know, to that lady down there, I would say, you know, mind over matter. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter, is what I would say. I mean, what I would be looking at is your ability to do the job that I have and your passion for that job, your ability to fit in with the staff that are there, and, you know, age would be irrelevant.
Okay, so that's a very positive message to Henry there.
I would just come on the end of that. I would say, you know, you're an idiot to, if you're an employer, you're an idiot to disqualify anybody based on age, because, you know, there's a place, youth is great and the energy is great, but, you know, discounting life experience and maturity. It's like one of my best employees, one of my best salespeople, 74.
What?
And flying.
74.
And flying. You know, so there's absolutely age shouldn't be an issue.
That's brilliant, and what a great message to all of us adult learners, that really age doesn't matter. Any other questions? Before I hand over to Vinnie McGrory, I'd like to thank our panel here today for taking time out to share with us your wisdom and expertise, and it's wonderful to have such a wide sector of the world of work here. I mean, we have engineering, HR, Patrick was former HR in Letterkenny Hospital, as well as HR or manager for TUSLA West Ireland. Anne Fox is about to retire from Lurgy Brack, and we have Mark McElhinney from retail, and we hope that their insight today will give you an edge in your job search, and I want to wish you well with that.
Thank you, Dervla. We're nearly there now, guys, so you can relax. When Dervla asked me to talk at the end, I thought that'll be handy enough. Everybody will have had a good day. They'll probably be getting a bit hungry, and they probably won't even listen to what I'm going to say. I think it was about halfway through Catherine's presentation that I realised that I was in trouble, and that I would probably be critiqued by about 300 odd people on my presentation. So please be gentle with me. There are a number of people I would like to thank, and maybe even a bit of advice that I didn't hear earlier on. If at some stage in the future that you're going to be involved in public speaking, like myself and others, you would probably do prompts that you can bring up with you to help you get through the speech. One lesson I would recommend is do not forget your glasses. I've done this once before. There's 2 lessons to be learnt out of it. It really focuses the mind, and it'll never happen again. So I would like to thank Catherine for bringing her national professional perspective to today's presentation, and I hope that we all, including all of the staff, will have benefited from listening to it and participating in it. I would like to thank the panel. I would like to thank Jim and Lynn and Patrick and Anne and Martin. There's 2 things that I would like to consider about their contribution today. They have received nothing for coming here today. They have taken a day out of their very, very busy schedules to be here, to talk to us, and probably just as important, or more importantly, is that they have a message that they wanted to share with us. The information that they have provided today, in my view, is something that gives all of us, particularly you guys, a competitive advantage in today's employment market. So the fact that they took time out and the fact that they wanted to share that message with us, I'm very grateful for that, and I really appreciate the contribution you have made. One other thing I'd like to mention is today's seminar in itself is quite unique. The combination of presentations that we have from both Catherine and the panel is not going to be repeated in Sligo. It's not going to be repeated nationally, regionally. This is a once-off as far as we're concerned. So that gives you an edge over the others that are out there. We had a waiting list of over 100 to actually come into today's thing. So what I would love for you to do is take advantage of the information that you've gathered here today and use it for your benefit, to further your careers, to get into work or whatever it takes, but take advantage of the information that we've gathered here today. I was involved in recruitment myself over the years, and the one message that's coming out of this loud and clear, to me anyway, is that the skills are important, and you've shown huge commitment in undertaking the training that you have taken. But the one thing is the skills will get you to the interview. Attitude will get you the job. And I think that message, if we could get that message alone out there, I think we would all be much better off. Before I finish up, I was doing a bit of research beforehand to try and have something to talk about other than everybody who's performed. There's a website called, and here the glasses come into play, CDFOP, the European Centre for Development of Vocational Training, and is well worth having a look at. And they have a quarterly magazine. It's called Skills, Set and Match, Promoting Learning for Work. And I was looking through that, and there's a lot of really good information in it. But one of the things that I noticed was they did a forecast for employment growth over the next 10 years. And I said, I'll have a look at that and see how we're fixed nationally. I was quite pleasantly surprised to see that Ireland is actually top of the projected growth for the next 10 years. We're actually at 13.6%, and the nearest country to us is at 9.6%. So there is hope for us out there. There are opportunities. It may take a little longer to get them into our region, but there is a future there for us, and you guys are the guys that are going to lead that future for us. Finally, I want to thank the team that put this together. I want to thank the hotel for hosting it, professionally as always. I would like to thank the communication guys for doing the really good job they're doing, and hopefully you'll show me in a good light. And I would like to thank the ETB team that helped put this together, and that includes the adult guidance team, Marjorie, Rose, and Claire Lernan, the official photographer, and Lorraine. But most of all, I would like to thank Dervla. This is her baby. She came up with the idea. She worked really, really hard to make this work, and I think we can all acknowledge that she's done a really, really good job today. And now probably the most important part. There will be soup and sandwiches served at the back of the room, so that pretty much covers all for today.
And just there's an evaluation sheet. It's the last sheet in your pack. You know, feel free to add your comments.
Yeah, it's very important to us that we get the feedback on this. And finally, I would like to thank all of you for coming in and participating, and particularly those of you that got up here and stood up and did your pitch. It's not easy. Well done. Thank you.